This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Andrulonis. Good evening. City of Olean officials tonight are saying, why stop halfway?
That's right, Jeff. The yellow brick road of East State Street that leads drivers to the Emerald City of Olean could be extended to reach the city limits after the city opened bids for the rest of the project yesterday. WVTT's Derek Smith tells us about the entrance to the city that will have people saying there's no place like home.
Bids from construction companies were opened yesterday for the development of East State Street. They ranged from approximately $931,000 acknowledged by Lakeshore Paving of Jamestown to $1.7 million agreed by Bob Cummings Construction of Bradford, Pennsylvania. The extension plan would reach from King Street to the city's eastern line on Route 417. Crews will also reestablish the water and sewer lines just past Garden Avenue, about a block or so. Olean's Director of Public Works, Tom Windus, says he is very pleased with the responses he has received and is excited to see the rest of East State Street get approved by council members.
The road construction crews working on the East State Street project here in Olean aren't the only ones feeling the heat today. Another short-lived heat wave has hit the Olean area. Here in the Twin Tiers, we're seeing temperatures in the low 90s earlier this afternoon, but in other places like Philadelphia, New York City, temperatures hit triple digits. With all that heat and humidity, of course, there are thunderstorms on the way soon. WVTT's Severe Weather Action Team forecast is coming up. Temperatures are expected to cool across the state by Wednesday, when rainstorms are expected in many areas. Those who have an air conditioner should be celebrating today, not just because of the work the air conditioner is doing. It is the 110th anniversary of air conditioning. Remember gypsy moths? Well, we haven't heard much about them lately, and that's a good thing. Fewer gypsy moths. That's according to the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. They're telling us the migration paths the moths took in the end of June and early July showed a noticeable difference compared to previous years. The weather in April through June was so sporadic that the moth larvae were killed off. Officials are telling us, however, the gypsy moth females are already laying eggs for hatching next April, and whether they make it again depends on the weather.
Some teenagers will have to start tanning the old-fashioned way, in the sun. WVTT's Ashley Masala has more on this story.
Pretty soon, teenagers under the age of 17 are going to have to start catching rays from the sun and not from the tanning bed.
Governor Andrew Cuomo signed legislation yesterday completely banning children under the age of 17 from using indoor tanning beds. This legislation also includes parental consent for teenagers 17 and 18 who wish to tan at an indoor salon. Owner of Electric Beach in Olean, Michelle Hurd, says she supports this legislation, but she doesn't think it will affect her business.
We really haven't had a whole lot of teenage tanning lately. It seems to have dropped off from, say, 10 years ago. I don't think it's going to affect us a whole lot, you know, and it's actually going to eliminate some paperwork.
The new legislation will take effect starting in 30 days on August 15th. For WVTT News Channel 25, I'm Ashley Masala.
Education officials in New York announced today that they're ready to release the test results. WVTT's Taylor Anderson tells us what the answer key is for acing these tests next year.
The tests New York State students took in the spring, such as this English Regents exam, are the last tests to be based on older learning standards. Next year, students will face different tests. These tests will have less multiple choice questions and more questions that require higher order thinking through short and constructive response questions. This has been Taylor Anderson from WVTT News.
Thank you very much. WVTT's Taylor Anderson reporting there. Meantime, Congressman Tom Reed is holding 3 town hall meetings this Saturday in Chemung, Schuyler, and Steuben counties. Reed tells WVTT he hopes people can join the conversation and share thoughts and ideas on what should be the district's priorities. These will be Reed's 71st, 72nd, and 73rd town hall meetings.
People who shop online to avoid sales tax may not be able to take advantage of that discount for much longer. There is a new legislation that could result in up to 10% tax for online purchases. WVTT's Molly England has more.
If you're one of the 53% of Americans that like to shop with a click of a mouse, you could be in for some bad news. Congress is considering a bill that would allow states to decide whether or not they want to tax online purchases. This could result in a 5 to 10% tax on items bought online.
This would make prices the same as if you were shopping in a store. WVTT asked some shoppers if an online sales tax would make them less willing to shop online. This is what they had to say.
I wouldn't if there's going to be a sales tax. It's ridiculous.
Will this new online shopping tax encourage you to go to the stores more?
No, it won't, unfortunately.
You still think you'll online shop then?
Yeah, but I do both, so it won't really change the way I shop.
Supporters of the bill claim that it is more about states' rights than raising taxes. However, if the bill becomes law, states will be making an estimated $23 billion from the tax. From WVTT News Channel 25, I'm Molly England.
Top world and national news coming up here on the 6 o'clock report, including the latest on the fighting in Syria and Mitt Romney's tax returns. The stories on the way here on News Channel 25, WVTT.